When we do demonic exorcisms, right, people are like, oh, my sin is such a problem. It's like, your sin's really not that big. And they're like, what? It's like, what do you mean my sin's not a problem? It's like, it is, but like, I'm not trying to justify sin at all. By no means. Paul says by no means. Where sin abounds, grace abounds that much more, but by no means should you sin that grace would abound. But it's really the way you think about your sin that allows the demons in. After we do an exorcism, everyone's always like, well, so now go and sin no more, lest worse things happen, right? I'm like, well, yes, but you're going to sin because you're a human. You're going to fall into something, meaning you're not going to live a perfect life by the righteousness, holiness standard of the living God. You're not going to be God from here on out, right? At one point between now and your death, you're going to screw up once, right? And when that happens, the devil will try to convince you about a false truth about the sin. And if you believe that belief about the sin, then you're opening a door. They're like, what? It's like, it's unrepentance. It's an unchanged mind. So the big thing is, if you sin and when you sin, not to justify it at all, not to say it's okay at all, but make sure you're not believing lies about it. They're trying to sell you. Notice when you sin, they're like, you instantly, you're condemned. Like you screwed up. You had one chance. And so the Bible has this like cloak of invisibility with your sin where God doesn't even see it. And it says it's for his sake that he doesn't have to look upon it. It says there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ.